Okay, so today we're gonna do something different, but for popular demand only, because everybody keep asking me to make a YouTube video or do some type of podcast that explains my belief in life. Because a lot of people actually have an interest in what I believe in, believe it or not. Like I don't know why, because I feel like a lot of people tell me I'm more of a logical person. And I feel like the best way to help any individual in life is to be completely honest with them about things or whatnot. And regardless of how direct it is or whatever, it's the truth. Like, we just gonna be discussing word origins today. Like a lot of people, my goal is whoever's listening to this video or whatever you want to call it, podcast or whatnot, my goal is today is to help open your mind to new things or whatnot. So today we're going to start with the word origins. So a lot of people ask me, why do I believe in what I believe in life or whatever? And I just tell them, like, the first thing I believe in the universe, meaning the Most High. That's what the universe is called, the Most High, because there's nothing higher than the universe, the Most High. So next, we're going to get to talking about my personal background. I used to be a Christian. I grew up in churches. And it always felt weird to me. Like just being in a church, like it always just felt weird to me. I don't know why, but it always felt weird to me since I was a kid or whatnot. And so then once I moved on from that, I stopped believing in that whole Jesus Christ and all that other stuff or whatnot. Like I read the Bible. I'm not even gonna sit up here and lie to y'all. I did used to read the Bible, but the Bible has so many contradictions in it. It kind of made me uneasy about it. It made my spirit uneasy about a lot of things because, for example, I'll give you an example or whatnot. It's like, it's a verse that says, thou shalt not worship idols or symbols. So what is Jesus Christ? Is Jesus Christ not an idol? What is the cross? Is the cross not a symbol for Jesus Christ? And that's what I mean. It's so many contradictions about it. Like people don't ask questions or try to look too deeply into things. They just go off of things of what people tell them or whatnot. And it's like, to me, I can tell when people just using the Bible just to pimp or just to try to manipulate people, because if you can't logically explain how things work, then honestly, I feel like you a manipulator. That's just me. That's just me. I just see how the world works or whatnot. And it's a hierarchy. It's a hierarchy in charge right now. Correct me if I'm wrong or not. I don't know if I pronounced it right. I'm pretty sure I pronounced the word right. But anyway, let's keep moving on with it. Like the hierarchy in charge are some white people. Pretty much is the Khazar Empire that pretty much disappeared and fled to all European nations, pretty much. So it's like, during a point of time, the Khazar Empire existed or whatever. So they were conquered, but they split up into like all the European nations. If people don't know who the Khazarians are today they are the modern day Jewish people. Modern day Jewish people, the same people that own all these banks, that pretty much own everything, big pharma, the militaries, corporations, they pretty much own every country. Because if your country has a central banking system there, you are enslaved to the Khazar Empire. That's the best way to put it. If your country has a central banking system in it, you are enslaved to these people. And in order to understand these people, you have to understand words. And that's why I try to tell people it's so crucial to understand words and the word origins of things. It's because the origin tells you what these words really meant. But these people down a timeline change the meaning of words to throw you off. So it's like they kind of playing like a reverse psychology thing with people's minds now or whatever. And so let's get this underway. Why I say words are so important is because how do we communicate? Like I know it's deaf people that exist in this world and they use sign language to talk or whatnot, but people that talk and use words is our form of communication, of relaying information to each other or whatnot. So that's why I say word origins are so important, for the simple fact it's the way that we relay information towards each other. And like a lot of people don't know, like words have a lot of power. Like I call words magic for the simple fact that they are magic. They put it in front of our face and tell us that it is magic. Like when you write a word out, they call it spelling for a reason. It's called spelling. And when you making a magic potion, if you look in the movie and they making a magic potion, they trying to cast a spell on somebody. They trying to control somebody. That's what words are. Like words can have an effect on a weak individual, an individual that don't realize that, because a lot of people don't know that our emotions are actual energy. It's energy, and you can look into it. It's energy. Like I'm not just sitting right here telling y'all anything. You can look into it. It's energy. Like the earth is magnetized. And to people that know what magnetized is, magnetism is an invisible force. If you take a positive magnet and a negative magnet, they gonna naturally attract and pull towards each other. But you don't see the force that's pulling it towards each other, because that's magnetism. And our spirit is made of magnetism, or magnetic fields, as I should call it, or whatever. So now, once you start to realize that, or whatever, and then you keep going more into biology things or whatnot, like our body is made up of like 75 to 85% water or whatnot. And so if you take a speaker and sit it next to a cup of water, the vibration from that sound of music or whatever's coming out the speaker, it's gonna do something to that water. It has an effect on it. Like people don't realize that like life is very logical if you choose to look at it from a natural standpoint. Like if you believe in a God, I feel like if you believe in a God, then you believe in basic nature. Because nowadays, people move so fast in life, they don't understand the beauty of Earth itself. They don't sit back and look at the beauty of a tree. People don't sit back and look at the beauty of a moon. People don't sit back and look at the beauty of a bird or animals all around. Like, Earth is a fucking master art piece. Like, excuse my language, but it's a masterful art piece that's beautifully created in the right way. Like, we don't pay attention to that. And it's so crazy how fast people move nowadays. Like, it's actually scary in a way. It's actually very, very scary. But anyways, I'm going off the topic. We supposed to be talking about word origin, so we're going to dive right into it yet again. So now, words, again, are very powerful. As you can see, that's why I chose this Scrabble background, because life is pretty much like a game of Scrabble or whatever. And I'm going to show you why words are powerful. For example, the word demon. Now, if you look up the word origin of what a demon really is, the original word was called daemon, and it was created by the Greeks or whatnot. But in Greek time, the word daemon is not what it is today. And that's what I mean by reverse psychology. They literally over time change words to mean something else or whatever from the original meaning of what it was supposed to be. The word demon, origin word is daemon. Daemon means genius. In order to be a genius, you have to have a smart mind. A smart mind. Okay? So, where am I getting at with this word demon? So, as we know, I believe in tribalism. And people like, okay, so what does tribalism have to do with anything? Tribalism is a very deep topic. Tribalism is a very strong view and support of principles and morals. And I've come to notice that white people and black people have completely different sets of principles and morals. And people don't want to admit it or whatever, but it's the truth. It's the fact. Like, just look around you. Like, look around you. A black person raised a child completely different from a white person. That's called tribalism for a reason. That's tribalism and like physically in front of you. Like, and people are like, okay, so what exactly is tribalism? Tribalism is the support of principles and morals of a culture. Like, you can't physically touch a culture. A culture is like one of those things that's like an energy, an essence, or whatnot. And it's like every tribe has a different type of culture and essence or whatnot, or whatever. But black people, for some reason, are just, I ain't trying to brag, and I ain't trying to like make anybody feel bad about what they are born as or whatever. Like, people try to say it's not about the color of your skin, but it's about DNA and blood. Like, that is very important. DNA and blood. Because DNA is genetics. And the word origin for genetics, guess what? It's Genesis, the first book in the Bible. So if these people felt like it was important enough to name the first book in the Bible Genesis, which is genetics, then that shows you right then and there how important DNA is. But people want to keep pushing it under the rug like, oh, it ain't about color. We all need the mix. We all need the swirl. Like, nah, bro. We wasn't meant to do that because we're all different. Like, I feel like if I was to date a white chick or whatnot, which I would not do, like, I can't see myself doing it for the simple fact, like, I just love my black people so much. I love black women. Black women are the most beautiful creation walking this earth or whatnot. So it's like my morals from a white woman's moral is completely different. So we gonna constantly clash heads on morals and principles on how to raise a child. Like, I done seen it firsthand all the time. Like, it's the same story all the time. Like, we raise our kids completely different or whatever. So now, back to the word origins again. So now it's like, once we realize we were meant to be separate, like, and if you listen to the Ku Klux Klan leader, I forgot what his name was, it's David something. If I'm wrong, please correct me, somebody or whatever. Like, I heard him speak one time, and it was just like out of curiosity of what the man had to say. He pretty much said that he don't hate black people or whatever. He said he just feel like black people need to be with their own kind in their own land. But at the same time, it's kind of a contradiction because y'all forced us to do y'all work. Y'all forced us. And like, people don't understand that, like, they forced us to do they work. Like, black people built America. Like, when you build in a house, you have to build the foundation in the ground first. And that's what black people were to America. We built the foundation in the ground in order for the house to go up. So when you hear all these politicians talking about immigrants built America, no. Black people built America. We gonna just, it ain't so, it's hard for everybody else to admit that because everybody else hate us so much. Like, the whole world participated in the slave trade. Literally the whole world except the Caribbean islands and Russia participated in the slave trade. Meaning the Asians participated, the Arabs participated, white people participated. Literally the whole world participated in the slave trade. Like, we dwelled in every land on earth. We was the first people in Europe. We was the first people in Africa. We was the first people in America. We was the first people in South America. We was the first people in Australia. Like, if you look up the history of slavery in like every continent or country, it was black people on that land first. And like, once you start realizing that, then you start wanna look into the history of white people more, and then you start learning like these people always just been liars and manipulators. Like, their main goal is to instill fear. For example, people like, okay, so what do you mean by instill fear? Like, okay, now we're going to go back to what I was talking about, how words have effects on your emotions. For example, why does a black person always die around Grammy time? Now, this is going to be a very deep discussion. Why? Because people don't realize, like, sacrifices are real. Like, we get majority of our information through media and news. But then people don't realize a couple of years ago, it was a large media merge where like 3 or 4 companies bought pretty much all the media and news stations. So now back to the Grammy topic. I'm strolling off yet again. Back to the Grammy topic. The reason why a black person dies all the time around Grammy time is because black celebrities are like well known all over the world in literally like every country. Like, you could probably go to China or whatever and people will know who LeBron James is or who Kobe Bryant is or whatnot. Like, we are just naturally global people. That's just who we are. We are global. You just can't confine us within a gate. We are global. So it's like, now you got to start looking at it with like a slave plantation mindset. It's because we don't literally own nothing. We just work for these people. And so it's like, once you work for somebody, they can do anything they want to you. They literally can. Like, especially if you making millions of dollars or whatever, they literally do anything they want to you. So let's break down the word Grammy. Let's get back to the word Grammy. Grammy comes from the word gramophone. A gramophone is the little Grammy trophy, like a little record player or whatever, like the records that spin or whatever. Then they got like the big horn that come off that sends the music out and the sound or whatever. Okay, so then you look up the origin word of gramophone, and it's called a phonogram. So people like, okay, so what's a phonogram? A phonogram, say for instance, for example, if you look up the definition of a word or whatever, and then next to the word, they show you how you pronounce the word. That's called a phonogram. Phonograms are very important. Or whatever, to the whole topic of why black people die around Grammy time, because it's like they want to instill fear in you, and it's like the world is like brain fried right now. Like, people get easily scared about like the smallest stuff. Like, people don't understand death. People don't understand a lot of this. So it's like when somebody die, they freak out. Literally, they freak out, and they let that negative energy just constantly dwell within themselves or whatnot. And so these people move by fear and distraction. So, example, the whole Kobe Bryant thing. I honestly think Kobe was assassinated. People like, well, why do you think he was assassinated? Because it's like, it ain't no coincidence. Like, earlier this year when the U.S. bombed Iran, the next day, it was a plane that crashed in Iran. And so Iran tried to say they accidentally shot the plane down. Like think about that. How do you accidentally shoot a plane down that left one of your biggest airports in the country? Like, let that make sense. How do you accidentally shoot a plane down that left an airport in your country that you cleared it to leave? And then it later came to be found out that the computer systems in the plane were hacked. Meaning somebody from a location far away hacked the computer system and caused the plane to crash. But they never disclosed who was all on board. So that's another mystery. We shall never know about that whole situation. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is like, they killing black people around Grammy time for distractions, for the BS they got going on in the Middle East. You just got to open your eyes and see it. Like, people like, well, what the Middle East got to do with us? The Middle East got everything to do with us. Like, you wake up every day or whatever, and you get in your vehicle and you go do what you got to do. But at some point in time, you got to stop and put gas in that vehicle. So where does that gas and that oil come from? The Middle East. The same countries that we go to and kill innocent kids, innocent people, just for some oil to put in your car. And it's like, people be like, well, just be a productive citizen in society. But it's like, when you start looking beneath the surface, it's like, am I really being productive by contributing to our greediness, by going to kill innocent people for some oil so I can get back and forth to work? Like, a lot of stuff just don't make sense to me. So it's like, I constantly ask myself questions about a lot of things or whatever. So it's like, they kill black people because black people deaths have more of an impact in the media. Especially the whole example, Kobe Bryant. Kobe died in beginning of February, end of January, and they still have this man's name in the news. Still. Like, if that's not crazy, I don't know what to tell you. And then it's like, black people still trying to participate in politics. Like, politics is rich people entertainment. Like, they had so much stuff and words, people don't even realize it. Like, people still be like, well, get out there and go vote. Like, no, we do not pick the president. The Electoral College do. And they just be like, well, the Electoral College is our votes. I'm like, not anymore. Like, they changed. The Electoral College used to be a process, but that process changed from a process system to individuals. So he like, well, okay, what you mean individuals? Meaning it went from, say for instance, if Illinois had 3 Electoral College votes and it's 2 candidates running for president. You got a Democrat and a Republican. So they split the votes in that state 50-50. So that means one candidate get 1.5 votes and the other candidate get another 1.5 votes or whatever. So they split those votes. But now you have 3 individuals that can choose who they want to pick. So if they like one more than the other, then they gonna pick that one person. Like, our votes literally don't matter. Like, I don't know how hard it is for people to understand that and to read. Like, people do not understand that because they cleverly hide things in their wording. Like, they do it so cleverly, you don't even realize it until like later on down the line, till the things actually have taken place. You like, wait, what just happened? And that's why I be trying to tell people, like, it's so important. Like, honestly, I get up every day and randomly close my eyes, open a dictionary, and just put my finger on a random word. Whatever word I land on, that's the random word of the day that I learn. It's so easy to constantly learn new words. Like, especially the word nigga. Like, people don't understand, like, the word origin for nigga is negus. And negus means king, ruler, or emperor. So if it means that, okay, now think about it. If a white person walk up to you and call you a nigga or whatnot, black people instantly get mad. Like, why? Why? Like, I ain't gonna lie, I used to get mad at it, but then I started realizing like they play reverse psychology. Either they playing reverse psychology or they honestly don't know that they calling you a king, ruler, or an emperor. But yet we get mad and react off of that. Like it's kind of crazy like how much reverse psychology is going on. Like even the Bible is reverse psychology. The Bible is like one of the hardest reverse psychologies in all of man's existence because they literally got people thinking God used this man King James to give them the Bible. And especially the Israelites. The Israelites are the ones that kill me the most. When you try to tell them like the Bible is not in its original form, they be like, well, God sent this man here to write the Bible. Like, what? Like the dude was a whole pedophile and a molester. He did not like black people. So what are y'all talking about? What? Like you can go, we live in an information age, man. So it's like for people to still be ignorant, man, it kind of just, it pisses me off sometimes. But at the same time, I got to realize like, that's not me, that's them. Like, honestly, they don't care enough about themselves or everybody around them to try to educate themselves on truth about things, about individuals or whatever. And so now it's just like, people just go along with stuff. Like Israelites would be quick to like, you will say something and the Israelite would be quick to throw you a Bible scripture. And then it'd be crazy because it's like, that Bible scripture that they give you have nothing to do literally about what you talking about. Like I look at the Bible, it's like a Harry Potter book. Like you got chapters and you got verses. All those verses belong to a chapter and each chapter is pretty much telling a story. So it's like, if you take a chapter from like Genesis 1 or 2 or whatever, then you go to Proverbs and then you take a verse from Proverbs 1, chapter 5, that you taking two completely different stories and trying to put that together to try to, I don't know what they be trying to do. I guess they be trying to call themselves being righteous or whatnot or whatever. But it's retarded if you sit back and think about it. It's retarded. It's like no logic. Like we need to start developing logical ways on how to explain things because it can be done. If you believe in nature's principles and you understand that the Most High created nature's principles, then you understand logic and you understand how to see through BS in words. But we're going to cut it short for today. I'll probably have another video for you guys Monday or whatever. So we're going to continue the discussion on Monday. I promise you I'll be back Monday to continue this discussion. So everybody have a great day and thank you for listening.